Sports Network. Dan Coachimilio, Eric, Larry should be joining us shortly. I don't know, maybe he fell asleep. We'll see what happens to him. Hey, what can you say about these Giants, huh? They're nothing like it, right? Yeah, nothing like it. I'm telling you, this is really, really tough to watch. Yep. What's the definition of insanity, Hoodie? Watching the Giants.
Hoodie.
I think it's watching the Giants and expecting a different result that they'll hit.
Look at that. Chardall coming in with the jokes. Wisely should be on the Savannah Bananas, which is the Harlem Globetrotters of baseball.
Yeah.
Chardall even making jokes. What in the hell?
I'll tell you guys, this is...
Yes, Lou. More strikeouts.
Yeah, tough to watch. Very, very tough to watch. I've got a lot of things. Okay, let's get to the good, the bad, and the ugly tonight. The good, Logan Webb pitched for what, a 7 1/3?
Something like that.
Yeah, gave up 3 runs. Got no support basically from his offense. Got 1 run from him in the time he was in there. He practically has to throw perfect pitches and not give up anything.
Because he's got nothing to back him up.
He's got nothing to back him up. So Logan Webb, one bright spot. The other bright spot tonight, what can you say about the kid, Marco Luciano? He looks like, future star. Not saying he's going to be a star, but he has star potential. He's the only, the guy hit the ball at 107 miles per hour. He smoked a shot that, I don't know. They didn't show a good enough replay of if it went through his glove or just off the third baseman's glove. I think it must have tipped, went into shallow left. He takes second base on a pass ball or wild pitch, whatever the heck it was, and then reads a base hit by Michael Conforto. We'll give that another good tonight. Conforto and Jock Peterson, the home run. So here we go. On this play on Conforto's base hit to center field, it was a sharp base hit, line drive to center field. Luciano took one look at it and read it and saw that it looked like it was going to drop, and he took off and he scored. He dove head first, sliding across the bag or across home plate. And, when they show the replay, that ball wasn't too far away from possibly making a running, diving catch, but the center fielder, the way he played it, I think Luciano just read it perfectly and saw that it was going to drop and, took off like a veteran. So loved seeing Luciano. He got 2 bad calls that he took called strikes on the outside corner that were off the plate. I think if that was Barry Bonds or, Mookie Betts, those would have been called balls. But because it's a rookie, and that's just seems like how it goes a lot of times with rookies, they don't get the calls. So this was a tough night overall to watch the Giants again struggle at the plate. We've talked about the trade deadline. Gosh, I don't know. Before I get into that, Eric, give us your thoughts.
Hey, first off, I want to thank Mark Hope. I saw him. He was in a chat. He's listening from work. So I appreciate the dedication. I appreciate all you guys coming in to join. It's almost 10 o'clock on a Friday night. Appreciate you guys joining us here. It's always fun shooting the shit, as you would say, here on the Giants. But goodness, man. It's another good outing by Webb. It wasn't, he gave up 2 runs, but he went 7 innings. And I see a lot of people in the chat talking about looked like there was no reason for Webb to be pulled. What do you think? Do you think Webb should have been pulled? You should have let him go to distance? What do you think? He's your ace. You paid him as an ace.
He was only at 88 pitches. I don't know really why they pulled him. There was a leadoff. Was it a single or double in the
leadoff single, and then someone bunted him over, right?
Well, they bunted him over. Imagine that, bunted him over. How about that? Yeah, let me get on my rant, Kapler. You ding dong. You're down 2-1. You get runners on first and second to lead off. I believe it was the 7th. Let me look here.
It was 6th or 7th. Yeah, it was.
Let me go to the play-by-play.
I thought they were going to do something there.
Bottom of the 6th. It was the 7th inning. Davis singles to right. Bailey singles to right. First and second, and
no outs.
Sable comes up for Matos. All right, two big gripes right here.
Okay, well, that was a nice play by Turner, though. Whew.
Yeah, that saved the run, the tying run.
Yep, it
looked like it almost was going to escape into center field. Two gripes. Okay, first gripe. Why not bunt? Okay, Sable's shown and proven he's a great bunter. Get that guy runners to second and third. You have after Sable, you got Wisely. You got Lamont Wade sitting on the bench for what?
Was he hurt? I don't know. I was thinking the same thing. It was like,
was he barfing or something tonight? Was he throwing up? I don't know. What the heck? Where was he? No announcement, but you let Brett Wisely hit. That's gripe number 2. Gripe number 3. If you're gonna pinch hit for Matos against right-handed pitching, then why even start Matos? Right?
Yeah.
I mean, if you're going to pinch hit for him when it's a key situation, why not just go with your lineup you want out there in the key situations?
Yep.
Because every inning's a key situation for the Giants because, frankly, they suck, okay? They suck at the plate. They're horrible to watch. It's just unbelievable. And, yes, G. Martinez, it's borderline blasphemous to let Wisely hit in that situation. Look up Eric Wisely strikeout K rate. I'm sure it's over 35%.
It's got to be.
It's got to be. It's ridiculous. Yes, Webb is 8-9. Jose, he is 8-9 now. He took the loss tonight. Wins and losses don't really matter anymore. It's all about quality starts, ERAs. I mean, somebody recently won the Cy Young, a starting pitcher, with like 8, 9, 10 wins or something. In the last few years ago or something.
Let's see what we got here.
Whatever it was, or I don't know. But yeah, it's just beyond me to watch these decisions that just frankly don't make any sense. Does that make sense to you, Eric, that you pinch hit for a guy because he's facing a righty, but you started him against a righty?
Yeah, it doesn't make sense. 33% is the strikeout rate for Brett Wisely.
And that was before tonight, right?
Yeah, because I'm guessing Baseball Reference probably hasn't calculated that.
Okay,
yet.
And how many at bats did he have?
117 at bats with 39 strikeouts.
Okay, so he's got 40 for 120. What's that? Is that third? He struck out once in 3 at bats tonight. So it's
okay. So whatever that is, yeah.
40 divided by 120. Isn't that 30%? 40 divided by 120 is 33. I'm sorry.
Yeah, so it's about the same then.
Yeah. 33. So he's 33%. He strikes out all the, I mean, and you put him up in key situations. This tells you how depleted this team is.
Exactly. Hey, hold on, Dan. I'm hearing from our reporter in the clubhouse concerning the Lamont Wade Jr. His condition is critical. Oh, there we go. Okay, never mind. He just had some bad chili. He had some bad chili.
Okay.
Okay, gotcha.
Bad chili from
okay, Lamont. Back to you, Dan. Go for it.
I don't know why he wasn't, facing a righty or at home. He had a day off yesterday. I mean, where was Lamont Wade? No reports.
I don't know. Good question.
No reports of
I saw no tweets or anything. Yeah.
Lamont Wade No, I didn't see anything. Let me see if I can find something from anything from Alex Pavlovich reporting. Nothing on. I mean, somebody just needs to ask Gabe. Where was Lamont Wade tonight? And then follow up he was available, and say, why would you not pinch hit for him instead of Wisely? What I mean, it's just, we'll get to the trades tonight. I've got a wacky, what did we call it?
Hey, outrageous, controversial trade proposal.
There we go. It's coming later in the show, so stay tuned. Probably about 10:30.
Oh, the suspense. Look at Val. That I was going to say, Wade just got traded. That's pretty good, huh?
Yeah. I think Larry did fall asleep. I really do. Larry is asleep. LOL. You want me to wake him up? Let me wake him up. Maybe if I call him. Let me try that.
What do we got here? Senior saying, just do it. Yeah, he ain't even answering.
SG, Sports Talk, Chardall, can I be the replacement for Larry?
This is Larry Krueger.
All right. Got his voicemail. He probably went to camp today, had a long day, started watching the Giants and fell asleep because it's not difficult to fall asleep watching the Giants, but believe me. If I wasn't doing this show, I probably would have fallen asleep myself.
Here we go. Dan only proposes trades that have 0% chance of happening.
Who wrote that? Oh yeah, this trade, I'm telling you guys, it's not anything that's going to happen. I guarantee you, it's not anything that's going to happen. But it's a philosophy of what I believe the Giants should be doing. Okay,
you're reading the room of what's happening with trades. In other words,
yeah, I know they're not going to go to sleep. I guess sleep. I know they're not going to make this deal, and I don't think they make any big deals at all. I really don't. I think it comes down to this team is, Farhan's going to have egg on his face again because he said we're going to be really aggressive, and he's not going to be able to get anything done. He's not going to be able to get anything done. If he couldn't get rid of Rodon last year when you were out of it, if he couldn't pull the trigger on getting a guy that was going to be a free agent, what makes you think he's going to give up something?
Exactly. Well, hold on. We're starting to see signs because we got people within the organization who think that the Giants, currently constructed, not having to do any trades, can 100% win the World Series.
I think, hey, Robert, do you have a nephew named Hunter Pence?
He's a great guy and all, but
is your nephew, is Hunter Pence your nephew? We love you, Robert, and we love Hunter, but this team, as currently constructed, cannot win the World Series. Absolutely not.
I can't believe he actually went out and said that. That was rough. That's hard to take serious. You know what I'm saying? When you're coming out with that, I mean, that's just.
Yeah. Yeah. Maybe Greg Dayton. Of course, Greg would think that, but you might be right. And I'll owe Los a dinner. But maybe that's the best thing for the Giants. Get swept and lose Monday to Arizona and fall a few games out. But then Farhan, if Farhan's going to believe they're in this. If he believed they were in it last year at the trade deadline after losing 7 straight right before the trade deadline, or 6 straight right out of the chute, And then, during the trade deadline, they were getting crushed.
Hey, glass half full. Appreciate it. $4.99 again, coming with the money. I appreciate that. I'm already preparing myself to be severely disappointed with the trade deadline. Yeah, I've come to grips with that.
Yeah, absolutely. Don't even, I still wake up in the morning first thing and check and see if there's any trades in the morning, anything happen. But, with what's going on in baseball right now, let's take a look, in fact, at that, and we'll tell you kind of what's really clogging up the trades is a couple things that are happening.
Hey, while you bring that up, hey Brian, I'm gonna dog on Hunter if you're gonna come out with takes like that. Yeah, I understand he was part of a couple of World Series, which is awesome as a player, fantastic. I'm glad he was part of the team, but man, come on, when you're coming out saying that, you kind of lose a little bit of credibility in what you say. Not talking about what you do, but in what you say. All right, go for it, Dan.
All right, let's pull up the scoreboard. All right, we see that Casas guy, he's been raking lately.
Man, he almost hit another one.
Yeah, he's been hitting. I saw him over the weekend hit a couple of bombs. Okay, Marlins win tonight. That's a tough one. I wonder if Robertson got the save. Let's see.
Exactly. Hey, MF.
Nope.
What the reason why I say who cares what Hunter says? He works for the organization, so maybe he's in on what the Giants may or may not be doing to the trade deadline. You never know. I know it's a little bit of a reach, but he does work for the organization. Maybe he's hearing something.
Okay, somebody's saying. Let me see. Is my screen's blurry? I think.
No, it looks good.
Okay. You sure? Let me.
Positive. Yeah, you look fine.
Somebody said my screen. Nothing looks blurry.
Nothing's blurry on my end.
Okay. Okay. Yeah, I hope DeSclafani does not get put out there because he will get rocked. He definitely will get rocked. Wait a minute. Okay, you said that. Okay, I put the wrong one up. Okay. Yeah. Yeah, he's going to get rocked if he pitches. If Kapler puts him out there, he should be fired, period. Just fired right on the spot. Okay, let's get back to the out-of-town scoreboard. Orioles beat the Yankees. Wow.
Yeah,
Yankees
walked it off.
Wow, Santander hits a ninth-inning homer.
That was crazy, man. Yeah,
Phillies beat the Pirates. That goes against the Giants.
Yep.
Blue Jays beat the Angels.
Yep.
Watch the Angels. They do all this stuff, making trades, and they'll watch them tank now. In fact, count on it. Count on it. They'll tank, even though I think it's the right decision. It's just that owner's cursed.
Yeah.
Hey, I didn't have the right hat on tonight. Hold on here. I thought I changed hats. Okay, there we go. All right. There we go. Okay, White Sox beat the Guardians. Mets beat the Nationals.
Who cares?
Braves over the Brewers. Royals over the Twinks. And the
Rays over the Astros.
Okay. I think Texas got beat badly.
Cubs, man.
Yeah. Oh, you guys got to go check out this.
Michael Talkman does it again, man.
You know what? We might be able to without the sound, could we?
Yeah, go for it.
Let me see if I can do this.
Just bring it up and probably through MLB. Oh, there it is right there.
Yeah, let me see if I can get this sound.
You know what? Don't share it. Go ahead and unshare it and then play it and have the mute ready to go. And then, you know what I'm saying? So when you come back, you can just hit play.
All right. Let me do that. Let's go back to the scores.
Hey, we got someone in the green room.
Who's in the green room? He woke up from watching the boring Giants. Here he is. The legend himself with the music intro. You ready? For the man of the hour. Did you wake up did the Giants put you to sleep again?
What? I was told that I was going to be on the post-game show of a team that scored more than 3 runs. And no, What's up, guys? What's going on?
Oh my gosh.
Oh gosh.
I did doze a little bit because I was sitting there. I've had such a ridiculously long week.
Yeah, I can't blame you.
Man, the Giants.
Oh, that's what we said. We said that he was down in Santa Clara. The sun was out. He's out working. He's driving traffic. Gets home, has some dinner, sits back, relaxes, and the Giants just freaking put you to sleep all the time. Perfect antidote for you go to the doctor. And he says, Doc, I've got insomnia. It's been 3 nights. He writes a prescription. He tells, I says, what the heck's this? I take it to the pharmacy. Says, go watch the Giants games.
I'm having a hard time sleeping. Yeah, I suggest Giants baseball.
Yeah.
Jeez.
Pitiful.
It is. They
really don't score. They don't score. It reminds me of a guy I went to college with. He just never scored. It's unbelievable. Was it 8 of the last 9 the Giants have scored 3 runs or less or something like that?
Yeah, it's got to be something like that. It's bad.
Something like that. It's awful. It's pathetic. And I teased the Twitter audience and I teased the chat tonight at about 10:30, between 10:30 and 10:45. I'm going to come up with my most outrageous, outrageous, controversial trade proposals. And
can you imagine that, Larry? With Dan with a controversial, outrageous trade proposal.
It's not going to happen. I can 100% guarantee it's not going to happen. It's just it's a philosophy of what I believe what's best for the Giants going forward.
Just don't trade that ball dude down the left field line. Otherwise, we've got nothing to talk about.
Oh gosh. That was hilarious.
Oh man,
that guy had quite the boiler.
Yeah, he had almost a Farhan type boiler going on there.
I was wondering if he was gonna.
What's the due date? I mean, my goodness.
I wonder if they would have had. He probably would have had a double anyway, but
it would have been a double. Yeah,
I don't think the left fielder could have got over there. Who was playing left field tonight?
Who knows?
Huh?
I'm not sure. I think
it was
Conforto. Yeah, he would have got over there
right
in time and been able to make a throw. They would have had to carry him right to him.
Have we gone through good the Giants have yet to make a trade. Actually, they made a trade with the Red Sox.
Yeah,
the other day.
Rivera for the Marcus Johnson.
Other than that, exactly. It hasn't been much.
And
are they going to buy? Are they going to sell? Are they going to? They're now. Am I hearing Alex Wood is going to? They're talking about trading Alex Wood.
I saw
possibly. Hey, the market right now. The Angels gave up their number 2 and 3 prospect for Giolito and one of the White Sox relievers. The Astros today gave up their 5th number 5 prospect for Graveman, who's a rental. What we're seeing right now is you're getting pretty high prospects for relievers and rentals. Imagine what the Giants could get if they traded each of the Rogers brothers that are under contract for 2 more years. You could probably get a top 3 prospect back.
Seriously, get Jeff Bagwell. Throw him Larry Anderson for Bagwell.
Yeah, it's but tonight, Larry, one of the things I was going over that just really irks me with Kapler is you get first and second.
You're never irked by Kapler.
Never. I don't understand his thinking. First and second with nobody out in the bottom of the second, down 1 run, and you bring up Sable for Matos, and you're thinking one of those 2 guys, 3rd run, they bunted the guy over, off Webb in the 8th inning. He gives up a leadoff hit. They bunt, bring in Rogers, base hit left field, 3rd run and the decisive run of the game. Kapler never tries to bunt guys over. It's the bottom of the 7th, nobody out, and you trail by 1. I just don't get it. Blake Sable's proven he's a fantastic bunter. The other thing is that I had a gripe with on the thing is you started a right-handed pitcher is pitching tonight, Crawford for the Red Sox.
Cutter, says him, Cutter Crawford.
Yeah, Cutter Crawford. You start Matos, which I'm fine with. Fine. I love having Matos in there. Just leave him in. But you bring him in, you bring him out with a left-handed batter and Sable in a key situation, which tells me if you thought that was a key situation, Matos couldn't come through. What the heck you got him in the starting lineup for when you had a right-handed pitcher? Why not just play Sable to begin with?
Defense, maybe? I don't know.
They can't hit though, Larry.
I know.
So my point is, if you're putting Matos in because you believe he's the guy, but you take him out when it's the game's on the line, it's just like, I don't know. It just doesn't make sense to me. I see so many things, inconsistencies to his platoon crap, because it's like, okay, Sable got the final 2 at bats. Great. He faced a righty both times. Why didn't you just leave him in there the first couple times so he got to see the ball a little bit more, maybe? I guess my point is if Matos is not good enough to bat in a key situation, I mean, for the Giants, every inning's a key situation. They don't get any runs. It just doesn't make sense. That's all.
I mean, they just can't. They just don't score. I mean, this latest stretch of the year, it's like they just don't score. I mean, it's and it makes it kind of perplexing as to what they should do at the deadline, because I mean, it's a team that doesn't score runs, but what they're gonna, I mean, what's gonna jumpstart this team? I mean, is it going to be a pitcher? Probably not. It's probably going to be a bat, but are they even rumored to be after any bats?
What is it? Nicky Lopez and Paul DeYoung. That's the only bats I heard. Yeah, exactly.
At this point, I just would rather have him just play Luciano at short, because I don't think DeYoung gives you a whole lot more upside, and probably not even as good of upside as Luciano could probably do.
Have the Giants ever made a good deal with the Cardinals, by the way? The Cardinals always pick the Giants' pocket.
Yeah,
going back to the Jack Clark trade.
And the Cepeda trade.
Yeah. I mean, seriously, if the Cardinals come, just hang up the phone. If they call you, just be like, you know what? We're going to get hosed.
Yeah. I mean, this team, I honestly believed in the beginning of the year that the Cubs were a better constructed roster than the Giants. And it would not surprise me one bit if the Cubs surpass the Giants.
It could happen.
I could see Chicago. I could see even the Padres surpassing the Giants. In fact, the Padres gained another game on the Giants tonight. So
yeah, they won big. Padres won big.
Yeah, let's take a look.
You know what's kind of crazy? Remember you said the other night that you saw maybe some more energy in the dugout because Luciano got called up. It's gone now. After one day off in the game.
That's because Kapler knows greatly how to kill it.
Suck the life out of a team.
He sucks the life. I mean, you got
Luciano did get his first major league hit tonight. Just an absolute rocket.
A rocket, 107 miles an hour. Just
probably the hardest hit ball the Giants have hit in probably in 3 weeks.
Did he hit the glove in BP the other day?
That's what some are saying.
Wow.
Yeah, Danny Emmerman, right? He was saying that.
Let me. You know what? I'll pull that up here in a minute. But check this out. The standings right now. Let's go to let's just go straight to the West.
The 3 back, 56 and 48, 3 back of the Dodgers.
Dodgers lost tonight, right?
Yes, that a final? They've lost 2 in a row.
Okay, so they're still 3 back. Diamondbacks lost. Padres are 6 back of the Giants. Giants were number 1 position of the wild card going into tonight. Now they are tied for 3rd with Miami, a dead heat at 56 and 48. Arizona 1 back. Look at that. Cubbies only 3.5 back and charging 9 out of their last 10, 7 in a row. Did you see the catch tonight to end the game, Larry?
No.
Okay. I'm going to pull this up.
Pull it up. Yeah.
I got to back out of this. I'm going to stop sharing so I can cut the sound on this.
Yep.
I'll cut the sound, but you're going to be blown away, everybody, at Michael Tauchman did it again. All right.
Like Dodger Stadium Talkman?
Yes.
Yep. The same one. Unbelievable.
Yeah. Describe the I'm getting ready to pull it up here in just a second. And it was the moment was and there it was. And again, it was on the road, just like he did in Dodger Stadium. This time they were playing in St. Louis. And let's see. Come on. What's going on? I hate that when that acts up. All right. It's not working.
Are we trying to log into the fantasy football draft?
Oh, man.
That was awesome. Dan, 8 minutes. Dan, the draft starts in 5 minutes. Dan, we have 3 minutes till the draft. That was great stuff.
Come on.
Hey, while you're doing that, hey, we got 116 in the chat. Everyone, hit the like. If you haven't subscribed, please subscribe.
Come on. Can't get this to.
Yeah, Logan Webb, everyone's saying he looked pretty pissed off getting pulled today. He only had 88 pitches. He had one out.
Lou Marson says our August schedule will be against hitting teams. We are in real trouble.
Yes. August 10th until the end of the month is, I think they faced Atlanta twice, Tampa Bay, Texas. I mean, it's going to be rough. Hey, Larry, did you see what Hunter Pence said?
No.
Talking about the Giants?
No, what did he say?
He says the team, even without doing any trades, is ready to go and win the World Series as currently constructed. He actually said the team doesn't have to make any trades and they can still compete for the World Series.
What? I love Hunter, but I asked Robert if his nephew, if Hunter was his nephew, Robert Rothberg, but I mean, that's nuts. I don't see that happening. All right. If
a playoff series started tomorrow, who's the Giants' 3 starters?
Exactly.
Yeah, it's probably, it's Webb and Cobb and probably Stripling.
Stripling.
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay.
All right, you guys, can you guys see the screen?
Let me see what you got here.
I see it.
Yep. You're good.
Hold on. Let me get it. There we go. Look at this. 2 out, 1 on.
Woo.
Tauchman playing center?
Yep.
Yes. The situation was 2 out and 1 man on, down 3-2. He literally
Cubs Cards too. What a rivalry!
Yeah,
exactly.
Literally saved the game. Let's see. They'll show it again. This was unbelievable catch.
How's he hitting, by the way?
Here it is. Here, check this catch out. On the grass, he pulls it back. He literally pulled it back. That
Tauchman.
Unbelievable.
I think the one at Dodger Stadium was better.
Out that catch right there might be the difference of Cody Bellinger being traded or staying with the Cubs.
Where is it?
How do you trade Bellinger now when you got all this momentum?
Well, he is a free agent at the end of the year, so it's not like
right. But you
you're
trade
saying
him
the
and
Cubs
your
are in
season's
it.
Done, most likely, unless you're getting something decent back.
Well, yeah, exactly. Since he's one of the hottest hitters in the game.
Okay, so
I still not signing Cody Bellinger really fries me. It's like, why would you not go sign that guy? So and the Cubs got him for $17 million. What, you couldn't offer $20 million for Cody Bellinger?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Well, there you go.
You offered Jock Peterson with a boiler $20 million. A part-time guy with a boiler, $20 million. You're giving DeSclafani big bucks. You're giving Sean Manaea big bucks, but you said no to Cody Bellinger.
Yeah,
how'd that make sense?
Yeah, exactly. Well,
there's the tweet from 95.7 The Game. Hunter Pence believes this SF Giants roster is good enough to win the World Series this year without making a trade before Tuesday's deadline. I 100% do. They have the talent to win the World Series with what they can put out there right now.
He said it on the game?
Yep.
Oh, my God. What were the comments? Can you read some of the comments?
Let's see.
Comments had to be like, drug test Hunter.
Let me go here. Let's hit this.
You probably got my.
I mean, Hunter is been a giant broadcaster, so he's on the pro.
Oh, there it is.
Hey, who's this guy?
What did I say? I love Hunter Pence. I love Hunter, but with only 2 reliable starting pitchers and nobody on the team with more than 13 homers and the second worst hard contact rate in Major League Baseball and one of the lowest OPSs, the current Sacramento River Cats look more entertaining. But if everyone gets healthy and hot at the same time, anything is possible.
I love Eric Hernandez. What?
Yeah. Hey, I know this guy. Sure they do. No more broadcasting games. He's such a homer. Worse than Krug. More ha ha ha. Been drinking these days.
Was it a daytime comment? I mean, nobody likes day drinking.
But Hunter has been at the dispensary. Pence is beginning.
All right. Let me pull this other thing up here. The this Coke bottle shot.
Oh yeah.
Let's take a look at this and see if we and listen to the sound too. Listen to the thud, right? It says Coke bottle power from Marco. I think that I don't know if that hit the Coke bottle or that little
platform.
Yeah.
Doesn't it have like wiring part of it? It sounds like it hit the wiring.
Let me see if I can make that bigger. That bigger?
Yeah, here you go. You're good. I'm trying to see if you could see a bounce.
Yeah, I don't see where
I mean, Danny said it was Coke bottle power, so obviously it must.
I mean, that might be the furthest shot ever in the park.
Let's look to the left of the.
I was there the first day after 9/11, the night when Andres Galarraga pumps one out against the Astros, and it cleared the bleachers.
Look to the bottom of the bottle. I think I saw it. Look at the very bottom of the bottle in the middle. I don't know.
I can't. You gotta zoom in. I don't know if you could zoom in more and just to see if you can see a. No.
What time of the day was this too? Like 2:00 in the afternoon?
I think it was about 4.
God.
Wow.
The guy's got some serious bat speed.
He does.
That's definitely beyond the. It's definitely beyond the bleachers, though. So, anyway, what does Lou say? Lou says Hunter Pence has been hanging with Dave Fleming too much. Homer Express. Hey, tonight they had Red Sox. Will Fleming, Dave's brother, broadcast for the Red Sox, and so they may do an inning.
Fleming was saying maybe on Sunday.
Yeah, that'd be kind of cool.
Robert. Hunter
that's amazing, man. 2 Major League Baseball broadcasters in one family.
Yeah, that's pretty cool.
Robert, I think you meant Uncle Hunter knows best, right? Come on. So here's the thing.
Dodgers got Lance Lynn and Joe Kelly, I saw.
Yeah. All right, it's 10:31.
Oh, here it comes.
Here comes my outrageous, and there's a couple things you could do here. But the Giants, I don't think, are going to win a World Series with this team. And I know Farhan wants to get to the playoffs, and Larry Baer wants to get to the playoffs. They want the excitement. They want the revenue. They want to say they are a playoff team. I think they know they have no way of winning the the way this current roster is set up. I know Estrada's coming back. Crawford will be back. Haniger will be back. And they think that I'd be shocked. But especially if you don't add pitching. But here's the deal. If you took, here it is. Well, first let me explain the reason behind this. The hardest thing the Giants have to do is getting ball players, hitters, to their ballpark. They cannot do it through free agency. Hitters are not going to come. And why not? You can get pitchers. You've got pitching, okay? You've got pitching in the farm in Harrison and Wisenhunt and Mason Black and Landon Roop and Reggie Crawford and, more on the way. And you can sign free agent pitchers easily because it does great things for their careers.
Trade for hitters that are under control.
This is why I trade. Here we go. Not going to like it, some of you, but Logan Webb.
Oh.
Right off the
Rockland Zone, the face of the franchise. Goodbye.
The reason is
the ace
is because Baltimore can win a World Series this year if they get an ace. They don't have one. They're in dire need. They are playing the long game, Baltimore. They're loaded in the farm, and we're going to pick a couple of their guys.
I know who I want.
Logan Webb for Jackson Holiday, the number one baseball prospect in all of baseball, who's projected to be up. He's flying through the Orioles system. He's already at AA, just was out of high school a year ago.
He looks like 11, by the way.
Yeah.
Yeah, he looks
and
really
the
young.
number 12 prospect in all of baseball, Colton Cowser, who was the top-ranked college hitter in 21. Guy can mash. And one more, it was their third, hold on, it's their second baseman, Connor Norby, who's ready to come up anytime. You got 3 controllable players. Now you can put Luciano in the outfield with Matos, Luciano, and Von Brown, and you got McCray. You can have an abundance of about 10 to 12 position players. Casey Schmidt, imagine, and then you can probably turn around and trade Estrada to the Phillies and pick up their number one pitching prospect, Painter. And now you are becoming the Houston Astros of where the Astros were when they started in 2014 started to have a winning record. And then by 2015, they've been in the playoffs every year contending for World Series. And that's the plan, I think, because you can replace guys like Webb. You can't get hitters. You just can't. And
the guy that was in the futures game is the guy that I'd want. Heston Kjerstad.
Yeah, I thought about him. He's got a high strikeout rate. I would put him instead.
He's a
Norby.
Major hitter, man. 6'3", left-handed hitter.
Yes.
He played at Arkansas.
Yes, 30-plus homers at Arkansas.
Yeah, he's
I
nice.
was going to take, you know what, Larry? Go ahead and switch him for Norby. That's fine.
So now you want Jackson Holiday, their number one prospect, and Heston. Is it Kjerstad?
Yes.
The number 4 prospect.
Yeah, and I'll give him Webb and Cobb. I'll give him Baltimore Webb and Cobb. They'll be the World Series favorites this year.
Holy crap!
You don't need Cobb.
I would do it in a second.
Yeah.
I wouldn't even think twice about that. I don't know if they'd do it, but I would do that.
Now, do you
absolutely do that?
So the deal is, Logan Webb and Alex.
You're basically
Cobb,
selling.
Yes, Logan Webb and Alex Cobb to the Baltimore Orioles for shortstop Jackson Holiday, outfielder Colton Cowser, and outfielder Heston Kjerstad.
That's 3 of their top 4 prospects, though.
Yes.
They're probably not doing that.
They're probably not doing that.
For Webb and Cobb?
Yeah.
3 of their top 4 prospects?
One of them being a
but you're
top
getting
prospect
Webb,
in all of
who's
baseball.
controlled for what, 4 or 5 more years.
I mean, you're also talking about 2-3 guys that are on the verge of making the big leagues right now too. They're not like low prospects. They're
correct.
They're highly rated prospects, and they're all on the verge of the big leagues.
Now I see a lot of laughing out louds. Is that laughing out loud at that the Orioles wouldn't do that, or that the Giants wouldn't do that, guys?
I'm sure it's the Orioles. It's got to be for the Orioles.
Well, how about if you threw in, maybe gave them the Wade Meckler in the deal?
Well, no, they're going to want more guys that can help them win this year. If they're going all in, they're going all in. What more could you offer them to help them win this year? Probably another piece. Yeah, maybe something like that. That would be exciting. Why? Because then the Giants would be loading up on just a monster team in 2024. And that's really what they should be about. I mean, that's right. Really the question is, what should the Giants be all about at the deadline? Should they be all about staying in contention this year? No. They should be all about building. It's just Larry mute Dan.
I got the controls.
They should be all about either making additions this year that don't cost them their prospects, or selling off of pieces that can bring them more prospects so that they can be better in a year. Those are the two things. So, to me, those are the two options. Either, use your financial might and get guys like Verlander and the deal that we were talking about earlier today, where the Giants trade basically no prospects of note to the Mets and take $100 million of Verlander and $10 million or 11.5 of Mark Canha, and take that money and use their wealth and don't give prospects of significance and try to win this year. Okay, that's one route. The second route would be what you're talking about, which is trade off of your tradable assets that have value with an eye on 2024. And then it's just a matter of what's more important. The Giants right now, if the season ended today, they're in the playoffs, or they're at least in a 1-game playoff with the Marlins for the final wild card spot. So, and the Giants have won a World Series out of the wild card spot. So either add some guys right now that can help you go to the playoffs, but there's no way you can trade your prospects.
Correct.
There's no way. You can't trade your prospects.
Right.
So either use your money and get Verlander and Canha and that kind of thing, or if you are going to use your prospects and trade prospects, you have to get cost controllable, players that are going to be on your team. You can't, for 2024, you can't go rental. You cannot go rental. Like, I love Cody Bellinger, and the Giants should have signed Cody Bellinger.
Mm-hmm.
But there's no way you can trade good prospects for Bellinger and watch him walk at the end of the year. Your options are sold. You got two options: use your money to help you win this year, or sell off your desired pieces for 2024 and promote the youth. And you know what I would love to see? Promote the youth, sell off some of your prospect, your guys that can help other teams. Like, I don't know about Webb, but Wood for sure. Any Cobb, and see if you can promote. Like, how exciting this would be is if the Giants traded Cobb and Wood and promoted guys like Harrison and Wisenhunt and still made the wild card. That would be more exciting than selling prospects to try to improve your core is your core. Stay with your core or add to your core. And if you're going to add any veterans like Verlander, make sure you add guys who you're going to take on the money, because you have tons of money, and it doesn't cost you any prospects.
Yeah. Hey, right now, guys, we got 117 in the chat. If you guys would all hit that like button, those who haven't subscribed and are new to the channel tonight, go ahead and subscribe and hit the bell notification. We come on after every Giants game. So if you want to come in and talk Giants baseball, we're here. Hit that like and subscribe. I appreciate it.
I tell you what, Larry, when you're saying all that makes perfect sense, but Farhan is so, I don't know.
Delusional?
And worse than that, he's too timid. It's like he waits to the last minute. He won't get bold. I guess that would be the correct.
You're right, Eric.
Adjective.
He's not going to be bold because if he couldn't pull the trigger last year and get a prospect back, probably a top 25 prospect in baseball for Carlos Rodon, and he couldn't pull that trigger thinking, I can't let him go because we're in this race. He's not going to pull it. He's not going to get rid of any of his better prospects because he's too afraid.
Right.
This guy is going
I'd much rather get rid of Alex Cobb and Alex Wood than trade away top-tier Giants prospects.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. I mean, we're
seeing... And guess what? The Giants next year, when they go in the free agent market, they're going to, even if Wisenhunt and Harrison and Black and these young pitchers they have aren't ready, they're going to be a player for a number of different pitchers because of their ballpark. Mm-hmm. So go get controllable hitters. That's
Rhys Hoskins and Cody Bellinger. I say go after those two guys next year.
I like guys that are in their early 20s that are.
How about Dylan Carlson?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
But that one, to me, that makes sense.
But I mean, I understand the Orioles. How about if you only got two of those three prospects with Holiday, the number one guy, being one of them? Let's say you got just him and either Cali or Kerstead, and you gave him Webb and Cobb. Do you think then?
I just think it's bad PR for any organization to trade the best prospect in baseball for anything but aren't you awesome pitching.
Aren't you getting a top 15 pitcher in the game?
You're getting a really good pitcher. I mean, I also just think the Giants are so in love with their local angle that they're really going to trade Rockland, the kid from Rockland. I don't know.
The problem I see is here's the problem I see with the Giants is they wait too long on their guys. They lose value. Like Joey Bart probably could have traded him a year and a half ago for much more value. Elliot Ramos, there's another guy you could have traded.
How about promote Elliot Ramos?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Promote him. I want to see him. I don't understand.
Okay, if we looked at the Giants prospects, who could the Giants? Let's look at their prospects for a second. I'm looking at their top prospects. Okay, who could be promoted right now? One of the things that Austin Slater said the other day after the game was that he likes the fact that the Giants have a whole slew of young prospects coming up right now. And if you're going to sell hope in the offseason, you've got Luciano up and you got Matos up. Why not promote Wisenhunt and Harrison? Maybe Vaughn Brown, Mason Black, right? I mean, promote a few of these guys. Elliot Ramos. Let's take some inventory. Wade Meckler. I would love to see them just do a full commit. I mean, look at it this way. If you trade for veterans, immediately you add pressure to the situation, right? And then you're leaning on a lot of young guys right now. So you're adding pressure to your young core. Is that what you want to do? I wouldn't. To me, I would take the pressure off of the young core by adding more young players and trading your veterans for more young players. And then if you don't win, it's like, all right, they didn't win, but their young core got a real taste of a September, wild card race, as opposed to you're going to leverage your future and give away some of these guys and add tons of pressure and make the rest of the young guys that you don't trade feel that pressure of the expectations of, man, you better win. You just traded 2 or 3 of your top prospects. I think the better route is, Alex Wood, Alex Cobb. I mean, these guys, they're I mean, are you? It's not. They're not. That's not Koufax in his prime
either.
This is not. This is not young Tim Lincecum or young Matt Cain.
Mm-hmm.
Who cares? Who cares? Those guys just happen to have value in the present. They're an arm injury away from being like totally forgotten. So and most of these guys make a little money, so
right.
you can then and you sell off some of these guys, some of these veteran guys, and maybe you win anyway. And if not, at least you give your young core a chance to, under very little pressure, kind of find out if they can compete. And if they can't, so what? Then it's all about 2024. To me, I'd rather go young and take a chance at the playoffs. And if it doesn't work, no big deal. Not trade away your core prospects, trying desperately. Like, I'll be really fried if the Giants trade young prospects of note for Verlander and then have the Mets pay the contract. Don't get into a situation where the Mets are like, yeah, we're paying the money and we're getting Giants prospects. You're rich.
Mm-hmm.
You're rich. You pay the money, cheap asses. Seriously, I mean, you own your own goddamn ballpark.
Mm-hmm.
If you let Steve Cohen pay the contracts and give him prospects, you're absolute fools. Agreed?
Agreed. Yep.
I want to see the Giants prioritize prospects instead of prioritizing their freaking cash. Seriously, I mean, they've made a lot of money. The people who own this franchise and their sons and daughters and grandsons and granddaughters are sitting on a ton of money. They own the ballpark. It's going to be open for the next 40 years. It's going to make them nothing but money. They're also renovating all of the land south of the ballpark and will continue to, probably all the way south. The eastern waterfront is going to be renovated and redone, and all these people are going to make so much freaking money. What are you going to hang a flag in center field that's a gigantic dollar bill? Look at us. Look at, hey, we're. I mean, do you want to be about money or you want to be about titles? Use the one thing you have, which your one advantage, which is money, to go out there and get what you don't have, which are what you don't have enough of in abundance, which are prospects, not the other way around.
I just listened to Logan Webb. Eric L. sent me something in through Twitter that was posted on NBC Sports Bay Area, and Alex, it was I think it was Alex Pavlovich interviewing, asking Webb the question.
On a scouting scale, what's that pork chop rated?
Are we able to play those interviews, or
no?
We can't, can we? Yeah. Okay. He asked the question, did you feel you had more left when you were taken out of the game? And if you could read body language,
what did he say?
And just his tone, he's like, I think he decked Kapler if he walked in front of him. He said, the question was, do you think you had more? And he said, just like this. Yeah, I did. That's it. Yeah, I did. In other words,
wow.
I'm a little pissed off.
Manager's got a hand tattoo.
So here we go again. Kapler, and Matos looked pissed on the bench when he got pinch hit for. I don't know if he looked pissed or dejected. Like, gosh, I guess I'm not that good. Gabe.
Maybe Kapler, made the plan of when to take him out when he decided to cut the sleeves on his Giants sweatshirt the other night. You see that?
Here's the thing.
Mike Correa did the same thing. These guys are
they're matching. Awesome.
Yeah.
Oh, nice.
You guys look like each other in the dugout, except from the head up. The head up. I'm like,
they even have the same glasses.
I still remember the time that Kapler finally got pissed and last year and Correa came out to try and cool him down and it was like Kapler went,
threw him out of the way.
Get away from me, you little gnat.
Well, here you go. I mean, we're talking about, the job that Kapler's been doing, Farhan. We're past 4.5 years with this regime. Does anyone have any trust that they can get this done as far as putting a team together, putting a roster together that's going to compete? Because it's 4.5 years. I mean, yeah, we're seeing some of the prospects, but do the whole picture. Let's
is
not
Bub
just
Raider not to interrupt, Eric, but is Bub Raider right here? Have the A's made the playoffs more than the Giants since Farhan took over?
The A's.
Ooh, I don't know.
No, is that possible?
I have to look that
Giants
up.
have made it in 21. 19, it would have been. Well, in 20, did the A's make it? Do you count 20? I don't even count 20.
No, 20 doesn't count.
But
I'm sorry. Go ahead, Eric.
As the whole picture, not just looking at, because obviously there's been some success down with the prospects lately, but take the overall, the trades, the free agents, the prospects, how they manage a game. Does anyone have any trust in this organization to do what needs to be done as far as a Major League Baseball team? Because it's funny, every time I'm like out and about and I'll see a Giants fan and, go Giants, then we'll start talking. And then it always comes down to, it'd be nice if Kapler or Farhan wasn't around. Every conversation, it winds up going down that road. So I just don't know what the trust level is in these guys.
I have a better feeling about Farhan now seeing the farm system starting to produce than I do about Kapler.
Right.
That makes sense.
But I just don't like Kapler. I think Kapler is your classic bully, insecure, kind of, look at me, manicured mustache. He looks like the kind of guy that is a friend of the mirror. You know what I mean? Like, he looks like the kind of guy that he's like a gym culture guy who stares at himself in the mirror.
Yeah, that's what I said to Eric tonight. I said he looks like the guy that probably when they get new uniforms or new hats, he stands in the mirror and makes sure everything's perfect. At
best, he's effective. You know what I mean? He's not, to me, I don't find Kapler likable. You might be able to argue at times he's effective, but I mean, you just had the most likable manager of all time. And now you have somebody who's effective at best.
Now, do you trust Farhan in doing free agents and trades?
Well, here's the thing. I know the kind of thinker that Farhan is. He has to win every trade.
Mm-hmm. Right.
And in a way, that doesn't bother me because winning trades is a good thing. But it also limits, all the trades. Like he's not the kind of guy who takes chances.
Right.
He's like,
correct.
When I know that I'm getting the upper hand, I will pull the trigger. Okay. So like, I kind of like this last trade. Mauricio Rivera goes to Boston. They get Marcus Johnson. Marcus Johnson is a long, loose-armed, athletic, right-handed pitcher with plus stuff. It's probably a win for the Giants. So, and after watching the J.D. Davis trade involving Ruff, I'm not as – if the Giants farm system was not producing anything, I would say I don't love Farhan.
Sure.
I think the one thing with Bobby Evans and the Giants going down that road before, they just kept making worse and worse decisions. So in some ways, I think he's an upgrade from Bobby Evans. But the manager, as I said, at best, he's effective. I think the players, I think you could go this route and have a more likable manager. To me, the guy who I think would have been the manager if Sabes had been here is David Bell. And David Bell today got a new 3-year extension.
I saw that. Yeah.
And I think David Bell would have been a far better manager than Gabe Kapler.
Glass Half Full donates $4.99, and thank you, Glass Half Full. Do the players even like or respect Kapler? I find it hard to think they do.
No one's come out publicly.
Kapler is a weirdo. He's definitely weird. I think the players that are new to the area appreciate his food reviews because they don't know where to go.
They don't sign anybody in free agency that they're not, they had to give everybody an out.
Exactly. Yep.
They don't land top tier free agents.
Right.
So, I mean, show me the guy who's like, yeah, you know what? I'll take a little less to go play for Kapler. I don't see that.
No.
And you had Boch.
Somebody asked in here if I can find the comment. I think it was Bora. The question was, if you had to fire Farhan or Kapler, which one would it be? Oh, hands down, Kapler.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, you should have heard. We were the other night. We were having you on. We read an article. In fact, I'm going to pull it up. I want to hear Larry's comments on it. It is hilarious.
Senior makes a good point while you're looking at that. He goes, I just hope Farhan and Kapler aren't connected at the hip. I hope Farhan is open to letting Cap go.
Well, I mean, Farhan wants, I can remember, Farhan wants, they want their analytics to make it to the field, not most of the time, not the majority of the time, all of the time. And so you've got to have the right kind of guy. And obviously Gabe is beholden to Farhan. And so he'll do exactly what Farhan wants to do, and he'll be a good organizational guy.
And Farhan had to kind of go through, some what do you want to call adversity, because with Kapler's handling of the minor league stuff when he was with the Dodgers. So he kind of went out on a limb to get Kapler to be his manager.
Yeah. He took a risk.
He did. Yep.
And maybe, who knows, maybe that's why he went with Kapler. Maybe he feels like he owes Kapler.
Yeah, exactly. Hey, here we go. Got Los in the stream now.
All right.
What's up, Los?
What's up?
Hi, boys. Is it too late to come on?
Yeah, you made it. How was the comedy show tonight?
I love New York comedians. God, they're brutal but honest.
Give us one of the best lines you heard.
Who was it?
Mike Fettuccini, Italian guy.
Fettuccine, that's probably it. Or spaghetti,
he's talking about divorce and ex-wives. He's like, hey, what happens if you miss your ex-wife? He goes, you got to aim better.
Oh, man.
I was just opening joke. I was like, oh, man, I'm going to like him.
Wow.
There's dirtier ones than that, but yeah, it's a PG-13 show.
So we've been talking about a little bit of Giants tonight. They looked awful again. No hitting at all. Talked about some trades. I brought up Chad actually thought I was nuts, which I told him I was nuts.
He wants to trade Logan Webb.
I wanted to trade Webb for the top couple of prospects of the Orioles.
Yeah, he said that yesterday.
Danny thinks big. Danny's going Trout. He's going Ohtani.
My philosophy
Trevor Bauer
changed. Well, after watching tonight,
$75 million a year.
After watching tonight, I thought, you know what, Webb. What I'm seeing guys get back in trades for rentals. I mean, the Angels gave away their 2 and 3rd prospect. Now, granted, they're not great prospects, but they're going for it. I mean, Logan Webb is a top 15, top 20 pitcher in all of baseball. The Orioles they don't have an ace. And if they got him this year along with Alex Cobb from the Giants, and you got the number 1 prospect in all of baseball, plus the, number 12 or 15 prospect, got a couple of boppers that are ready to come up with Luciano and Matos and Brown and McRae and Meckler. And all of a sudden you got all these guys and Reggie Crawford. And see, I believe you can get pitching at Oracle, I don't think you can get hitters to come. You have to get them young, develop them in your farm system, and trade for them because they're not going to be able to sign them as free agents. So that's my take.
How about this? Take advantage of some of the teams that are super eager to, play this the right way. Take advantage of the teams that are super eager to get to October.
Yeah.
Who's super eager to get to October? Are the Cubs? Maybe then take Pete Crow Armstrong away from the Cubs. He was in the futures game. Pete Crow Armstrong is a really good young center fielder.
Rangers are looking for starting pitching.
If it's the Orioles, who just lost their catcher?
Texas for about 3 weeks, maybe longer, but
Joey Bart.
Yeah, Joey Bart. Is Tampa eager to get to the playoffs? Take that Junior Caminero.
Pete Crow Armstrong's the number 7 prospect in all of baseball.
I know, and he was originally drafted by the Mets and traded for Javi Baez, I believe, and went to the Cubs.
And that's
how about Evan Carter with Texas?
I'll say this: I would give the Brewers seem like in their intent on going to the playoffs and doing something. Give them a haul for Jackson Chourio.
Oh yeah, he's the number 2 prospect in all of baseball.
That's what I would do.
How about Webb and Cobb there?
Yeah,
for Chourio.
Absolutely.
And that's the beauty, and that's the beauty of selling. Beauty of selling. You take advantage of somebody that's desperate and hasn't won a World Series in a long, long time. Like Baltimore.
All right, Larry, I want your comments on on Gabe Kapler here.
Oh boy.
This is from 20 when was this? Sometime when he was hired by the Phillies.
Does that say 2018?
Inside the brilliant, baffling, and utterly fascinating baseball.
Might want to zoom
it in
so you can see the font.
Yeah, well, I got to get to the font, but I don't want to zoom it in when we go past the picture on the. Okay, here we are. Kapler speaks slowly with careful pauses between each sentence and steady intensity as if he's trying to etch each line directly into the listener's cerebrum. He's describing his team.
We are a forest. Our players are the plants and the flowers and the vibrant greenery breathing life into our breathing life into our ecosystem. We as coaches, we're the soil. Our job is to be the healthiest, richest, most nutrient. I mean, my goodness.
Exactly.
So much bullshit. I can't even read that.
We also are the trees in our forest, both depending on ourselves as soil, but also growing and changing constantly. We're shade. We are climbing structures. We provide shelter from treacherous conditions. We are the landmarks for everything alive in our forest. We are grounded. We, the Philadelphia Phillies, will be a healthy forest. The healthiest in pro sports.
Some guy on WIP is just like, this guy, get a cheesesteak and get this guy out of my face.
Is that bizarre? If it
wasn't, I'm telling you, that is just.
If it wasn't already clear that Gabe Kapler at 42 is a unique dude, that point is driven home by his speech tonight.
Him and Farhan should do a podcast together. Can you imagine all the 10-letter words in that?
And then look at this. Oh, geez, I got to fly by it.
I mean that right there is like the reason that you don't hire him right there.
Did you see that? I mean, I could have zoomed in on that. He's in a Speedo on the beach posing.
We like our managers fat with boilers, out of shape, but smart up here.
No, I don't know.
PK, he's weirder than me.
It's so weird because Sabian and Coletti were so much the same kind of guy.
Yeah.
And then you look at Farhan and Gabe, and just on body type alone, they're just the opposites. Hey, you want to go get a burger? No, I'm going to make a fried egg and do a speech about it.
I look at Boch, the other night, the Astros and
get a beer.
Astros and the Rangers had a little those little brouhahas where everybody runs from the bullpen and nobody does nothing. But Boch is walking out there, comes out, hey, let's break it up, guys. Come on. This is nothing, But I see Boch. He's such the most gracious guy. Had a picture with my mom on the field at the Oakland Coliseum before a game. I said, thanks, Boch. She says, you're welcome. You're welcome twice. Just a gracious guy, down to earth, normal baseball human being.
Super smart.
Yeah. And just, he doesn't care what he looks like, goes out there, got pants down to his, below his ankles. Doesn't, Kapler looks like he still wants to play, jogs out there, got his stirrups, got his, it's like, oh man, I don't know.
Hey, you're talking about the manager now of the guy who won the most games in Giants history.
I know.
And got eliminated in the first round of the playoffs.
Larry, if the Giants did get rid of Kapler, who would you want to replace him? Would be some of your first choices?
That's a good question. I mean,
I like Wotus personally.
Yeah,
I don't want a retreaded coach. I want like a young kind of up and coming dynamic coach. That's on.
I'll give you a guy. If the one thing I loved about Roger Craig is that I really believe that if you're gonna, if your general manager is your think tank, right, and that's the structure that the Giants want, then really what do you want from your manager? You want a leader who has overwhelming optimism and positivity. Hunter Pence.
Yeah.
I never thought of that. He's a motivator for sure.
He's a motivator. He's got a football-like mentality. He would go along with Farhan's. Let's do all the right things. Let's organizational approach, if you want to say it that way.
Would he
Do you think his uppity too hype up would wear on people after a year or two, though?
I think he would chill. He would mellow out over time, but I think he'd be positive. He'd be optimistic. He's been there before. He'd have to learn on the job a little bit, but you want your, to run things through Farhan. I mean, I think Farhan has demonstrated that he can handle the amateur draft and develop some talent. They have a nice little pipeline going right now. And what I think you need from the manager spot is you need someone who's going to buy into that, but also be a face of the franchise that the Bay Area likes and supports. And I think Hunter would sell tickets. Hunter would give them, positivity. I think Hunter's won a World Series. He's a young enough guy. He can relate to the younger players. He's verbal, so he can verbalize a direction to the fan base. He's likable. He's kind of synonymous with effort and energy, and he's tied to their World Series championship teams. I like Hunter.
How about Mark DeRosa, who managed the World Baseball Classic team?
That's another one. That's another great name. Absolutely. I love DeRosa.
Yeah, he seems like he'd be really good. Kotze's with the A's now, right?
Yeah, he's a solid manager too.
He would be good. I wonder if he'll go to Vegas with him.
He is.
Yadier Molina, he managed in the WBC, but he's a St. Louis guy. I don't know if he would connect with the Bay Area, but there's something about catchers and managers that works pretty well.
I'll tell you a guy that could make a good manager, Eric
Matheny.
Kratz. Really sharp guy.
I'll give you one too. How about former Giant and A's catcher, what was the guy's name? Who pretty good left-handed hitter?
Oh yeah, Stephen Vogt.
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 Stephen Vogt. Yeah,
Stephen Vogt.
Stephen
he
Vogt,
would be good. He would actually be great because loves the Giants, grew up a Giants fan, was a dream to play for the Giants, and was a good player, but he's also funny, but he's energetic, but he can also be, serious enough too. I think he would be fantastic. Yeah. I just would love to see the Giants go back to just kind of more their roots of the greatness that they had, it's a historically great franchise. And you think about it, I don't know. I don't want to say I have anything personally against Kapler. I don't really know him, and I can't say, I wouldn't get along with him, but he just seems like a guy that is so eccentric and so difficult to just be converse with, have camaraderie with, that I don't know. I got the feeling when I was around the clubhouse down in spring training that he's just kind of does his own. He lets Correa kind of run the whole ship. It looks like Correa and the coaches all are doing their thing, and Kapler, like even when they're huddle up at spring training, he would kind of come in and just listen. He's the manager and he's not even leading anything. So I don't know if he has this aura about him where it's like everybody's got to feel a little bit of tenseness around him, but it doesn't seem like.
Who would command a room there, Dan? How about Buster Posey? How about that?
Buster would be awesome.
Buster would be perfect.
Buster would be an awesome manager.
I just don't know if he wants to get back in the game right now, but I think he would be perfect. He could be a manager.
I think he prefers being in the front office. I don't know if he's a everyday manager, but I could be wrong.
Yeah, but I could see it. I think he has.
I like the catcher idea.
Yeah,
because the catcher has a different perspective on the game, and so many of the best managers have been catchers. I thought Socha was a pretty good manager. Brad Ausmus was a good manager.
They said Eric Kratz would make a really good one. Who's that?
It's Kurt Manwaring out there. In baseball. He was a hell of a defensive catcher. Smart guy.
Eric Kratz was a guy that played on a ton of teams, super likable, just wrote a book about the importance of the backup catcher. And he really understands the game. Had a little short stint with the Giants back in 2020, maybe. Something like that.
Positivity would help. DeRosa, I think, would be nice.
Oh, DeRosa.
DeRosa, I think, is a good name.
Yeah, I like that. I really like DeRosa. Yeah. So, it's going to be interesting. We got 4 more days before really 3.5 days before the deadline. So you got Saturday, Sunday, Monday, basically. And then the deadline's 3:00 our time, Tuesday. So I really think
rumors out there. They're saying Paul DeJong and Nicky Lopez.
Yeah, that's it. That's it for the Giants. Yeah.
But
exactly.
What do you need? What do you at this point really think about it?
What's that doing?
What do you need DeJong for if Luciano's going to stay up?
Thank you. Yes.
You're just going to.
You're talking about a guy who's got a 29% strikeout clip.
Yeah.
And DeJong.
And if you hear that they're signing DeJong, then you know that Luciano's probably going to get head back down.
And at this point, yeah, he hit the ball the hardest of anybody tonight.
Exactly, and he's hit the ball harder than any member of the team in the last 3 weeks, a month.
Yeah, the Giants.
I like what we talked about earlier. Verlander would help, and the Giants have some bad money on the books.
Correct.
And Verlander's owed $100 million. Make the Mets, you'll take on $110 million between Verlander and Canna. Make them take DeSclafani. Make them take Mania, which would only just cut into you're still going to wind up taking $75 million on, and give a couple low level prospects as well, and add a couple guys that you can tell the fans, hey, we're going for it this year, but you don't trade any prospects, and you clear off some of the mistakes that you made with the bad money signings. And then at least next year, when you go to add, you try to go for a Shohei pursuit, at least you can say, hey, we've got, when I talked to Farhan a month ago or a couple weeks ago, he's like, the first thing I think about is if the playoffs started today, who's my number one, who's my number two, who's my number three? Well, at least for the next couple of years, you could have, Logan Webb is your one, and Verlander is your two, and Ohtani is your three. If not Ohtani, then you've got Wisenhunt, and you've got Harrison. Mason Black. I mean, I think that's the direction. I mean, you have three starting pitchers in those three guys that are all on the verge, and you've committed some big dollars to some donkeys. So move your donkeys out of there, consolidate them. And it's like nobody will remember that you signed these guys to exorbitant, stupid contracts if you throw them aside for Verlander. Verlander, would give you a nice piece in your rotation. If I'm Ohtani, I wouldn't mind joining a rotation that had Webb and Verlander and two young guns. Just to me, I just think you got to either think about using your financial might to help yourself in the present, or trade for some controllable players that can be part of 2024. The rental idea or trading prospects away, it's a non-starter.
Right, exactly. And yeah, we were talking earlier today, Larry, about that. It was my thought of doing something like that, of giving him DeSclafani, Mania for Verlander. But the more I think about it, and somebody mentioned it in the chat here. Here it is, YouTube. Cone probably would eat money to get a better prospect when trading Verlander. Don't see them moving Verlander without getting some decent prospects back to compete in 24.
Do not take financial situation. Do not. The trade deadline better not be about easing the financial burden on your enormously rich owners. I mean, if you do that, talk about something that is not going to resonate with the fans.
Right. Mm-hmm. And Andrew Keaton Wynn, he may, depending on he's shut down. He was slated to start tonight, was scratched. His elbow was bothering him. Same elbow that he had Tommy John on a few years ago. Hopefully it's not that. Hopefully it's something that'll just be a few weeks, but it's possible he may be done for the season. I don't know.
Hopefully elbow issues.
Elbow issues are for a pitcher is not a good sign. So that's a tough loss. Right now they've got Keaton Wynn out, Harrison out with a hamstring, and today Carson Wisenhunt went on the IL.
Oh, he did.
Yeah. So
what did he go on the IL for?
They didn't really say what it was. Let me see if I can find out here.
How about this? How about just a real basic deal instead of some monster deal? Instead of trying to go for the ridiculous home run with Jackson Holiday, how about just Cobb to the Orioles for Hurstad and add another, or Kerstad, I should say, and add another bat right there to your, and then promote Black perfect. or Harrison.
Be perfect.
You're giving, you're giving up, because let's be honest. I mean, they had major trade pieces that they could have traded and opted not to. And how's that working for you? You didn't trade Bumgarner. Okay. But then you let him walk as a free agent.
Yep.
You didn't trade Rodon, even though it was rare that you would even have a guy like that healthy, but he was healthy, but you still didn't pull the trigger. Now you got Alex Cobb, and you're going to sit there and go, man, we can't move Alex Cobb. Throw him to the Orioles for Kerstad and get another young power bat and promote a young pitcher to replace Cobb. Who knows?
Exactly.
Maybe that young pitcher will outperform Cobb down the stretch. Then you get the double win.
Yeah.
There's three-way trades are not normally done in baseball, are they?
That happens, but it's pretty rare.
You see it occasionally.
Yeah.
Shohei hit another one today, 39.
39.
Here's I'll tell you another guy that I really liked in the futures game that I would totally be after. What is Philly looking to do at the deadline?
Oh, they want to add. They're linked to Bellinger. They would really like to add Bellinger.
What do you think about Conforto and Cobb in a deal to Philly for Mick Abel? I don't know if you saw Mick Abel, but Mick Abel's a 21-year-old 6'5" righty with a big-time arsenal.
You think they'd give up? You think they'd give up Painter for that?
I don't know about Painter. He just went under TJ.
I really like Mick Abel.
When this year?
Yeah, they just talked about it not that long. Just look up MLB trade rumors.
Shoot.
Yeah, he went under the knife or is getting ready to.
That's tough. You don't want that then. That's 2 years basically before you see him.
And not only Mick Abel. Mick Abel's, he's in Philly right now, but he was at Oregon. He went to Jesuit High School up in Oregon. So you got a guy who, probably would like to be on the West Coast, who's big power arm. Now you have a big righty and you got two lefties. I mean, build your power rotation of the future. I mean, Alex Cobb's not a long time guy. He just happens to be having a good year.
Yep.
He's not an all-star, perennial all-star. He's having a career year. Pawn him and Conforto and something else and see if you can pick off a guy like Mick Abel.
Buy low, sell high. He's high.
Yeah,
right
Dan,
now.
he went under the knife on the 25th.
Okay. What's Wisenhunt's first name? Carson, right?
I would think contenders with the way the postseason plays out and how bullpens is such a big part. I would think the Giants, their phones are ringing for some of their.
Oh, absolutely, because you got a lot more teams who are in.
Not named Doval. If we got back a big prospect, I would be willing to give up one of the Rogers. I've said that before, but because the Astros just gave their number 5 overall prospect to the White Sox.
Right, for Graveman.
Graveman.
Yeah.
Come on.
There's going to be a lot less teams selling. You got Cubs are in it.
If somebody offers me a decent player for Brebbia, do it.
Yeah.
I'm waiting for.
Supposedly there's rumors that the Padres may be selling.
Who knows what really?
I don't know.
It's
pretty well right now.
Yeah, but they're 6.5 out from the third wild card, so
they got time.
Yeah,
it's possible.
I've seen it before.
Hey, if the Phillies, what you said about I don't think Farhan's going to do it. We're just talking about what really realistically they should do for the future, but they're not going to get rid of Conforto. But if the Phillies couldn't get a bat like Bellinger, who they want, Conforto would be good because he's also got an option next year. If he opts in, they got him for next year. If he doesn't opt in, he's a free agent. But, if you give him Cobb and Conforto for Abel, I think he's a top 100 prospect, I believe.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I saw him in the futures game. I love his arsenal. He's a skinny, tall kid with a super live arm, and he's a power righty. And you've got Harrison and Wisenhunt and Abel. That could be the foundation of your rotation for the next decade.
Right. He's projected. He's the 4th rated right-handed pitcher, and they anticipate him being about ready next year, 24. That would be great. Build your staff, man.
I'd call him up immediately.
Of course.
Call up those other guys. You want to excite your fans? Do that. Do something like that. That would excite your fans.
Yeah. I mean, yeah. And then you also get rid of Conforto off the books from possibly opting in next year, which you probably don't want him opting in if he doesn't have the great year. There's other options if you want, like as far as outfielders. If you wanted to go with a team that's hungry to make the playoffs, Evan Carter is the third ranked outfielder in all of baseball. How about Cobb to Texas? They're someone else. Texas wants pitching. They lost. They're saying that there's rumors out there that they may be in on Verlander.
Yep.
Bochy loves a bullpen. Cobb and a reliever.
Cobb and Brebbia. How about Cobb and Brebbia?
What about the deal I was talking about the other day with where you took on Javi Baez and you got the kid from Petaluma?
I heard a trade on MLB today
in Detroit. What's the guy's name?
Torkelson.
Yeah.
How about this trade? This trade was proposed by MLB. I'm trying to remember who it was. It was Joey Bart and somebody else.
I would definitely try to hook up with the Yankees too. I mean, if you could take Davy Cruz away from the Yankees, if you could take, I think the Yankees are really, a team. The Yankees are always kind of in a go for it mode. Estevan Florial would be a really nice get. I mean, Spencer Jones would be incredible, but I mean, they're not getting those guys. But if you could somehow get, like, I love that kid, William Warren, the righty the Yankees have. He's their 7th rated prospect. And then if you go further down the list, I mean, you've got Estevan Florial, Davy Garcia. I mean, something like that would be nice from the Yankees. The one thing about the Yankees will always trade prospects. They don't care about prospects. They care about winning in the present.
Here's the question, though. Will Sabian want to trade? Because he's part of the organization now. You think he wants to mess with San Francisco? I don't know. It seems a little bit weird how he left the organization.
If he thinks he can get over on Farhan,
he's the guy who drafted Joey Bart.
Yeah, true.
That's a good point.
And Joey Bart, with the right tinkering, could be hitting bombs. I mean, I think Joey Bart is eventually going to. They say the last thing to come is your power. I think Joey Bart, he's a big, strong kid with great bat speed. He's going to have a big bust-out power year somewhere in the future.
He needs a change of scenery for sure.
He's obviously not blocked here now.
Yeah. We rarely talk about the Rays as a trading partner. I mean, God, they're in the lower third of the league in payroll, and they're always competitive. They're doing something right with their scouts. They always are getting good players.
Same thing with the Dodgers, except the Dodgers have the big.
Well, the Dodgers spend way more. I mean, the Rays.
But they scout.
No, definitely they both scout. I'm just saying the Rays, like for years, they never have a high payroll, and they're always pretty much a good team. God, they do it the right way.
Yeah, it's. I think that's definitely the way to go. I just don't think Farhan has that in him. And I don't understand why, because you could still possibly make the playoffs, but now you're setting yourself. I mean, the odds of the Giants with the way they're hitting, of them doing anything, let alone really even making it, is.
They were first half overachievers. They're coming back to earth. This is what they are. I mean, they're going to fade away. Do not, if the Giants sold prospects for veteran additions, that would be this 10 times stupid. I mean, it would make no sense. There's zero pressure. Build the best, the best team that you can for 2024, because ultimately you're going to be selling hope to two significant groups: your fans and Shohei Ohtani and his agent. Yeah. So to me, it's like, go do it. Forget Alex Cobb and these guys. Go find guys who are, go find a couple more pieces to the puzzle so that you can go to Shohei and say, you know what? We've got an incredible young team on the verge. Come here and be the final piece. And then also you could thin out whatever money you save from moving on from Cobb and some of these bad deals. You can then throw that into, your offer to blow him out of the water. I mean, the Giants are going to have to, right now they don't have a draw, and they're, it's like a guy like Shohei would be their draw. But the only way you're going to get him is if you dramatically overpay in free agency. The only way you can afford to dramatically overpay is if you cut some corners financially on some of these bad money deals you got going right now.
Yeah, Larry, what happens if you, like you said, cut those contracts? It doesn't seem like Farhan has it in him. It's like the plan is to try and make the playoffs and just have enough around the edges each year. But you look at the NBA, and you saw the Warriors do it. You see a bunch of other teams do it. They actually plan for clear the books so we can go after 2 or 3 guys and
there's a cap involved there.
Yeah. But here you could literally move on from Cobb. I mentioned moving Webb, keep Webb, move off of Cobb, move off of Conforto, move off of Minaya and DeSclafani, get rid of those contracts that are weighing you down, and then you can afford to. You can outbid anybody for Ohtani, and if you get these young guys that are ready to play, then you can go out and get your free agent guys, like that are veterans. That you would still have Yaz as a veteran, you would still have Flores, and you would still have the Slaters and those guys, and Estrada. Why not take some of that money you're saving, get the rookies in, the young guys, and then go ahead and pick up another free agent or two that is a veteran. Maybe that's the time you need a guy as a backup like DeYoung, in your infield that's a vet that can stabilize or something. Just have a bunch of young guys with about 7 or 8 vets in Ohtani.
You're in Arizona. What's the Diamondbacks mentality right now?
They want to win.
They're looking for bullpen help.
I think there's a couple good deals to be had there. I'm a big fan of Pavin Smith. I'm a big fan of McCarthy. They've got. They don't want to move Jordan Lawler, I'm sure, but Jordan Lawler, if I were the Giants, that would be absolutely. I'd give Diamondbacks everything. You want to compete with the Dodgers? We'll move aside, and we'll give you whatever. We'll give you 4 or 5 pieces. What do you want? We want Jordan Lawler.
Now we're talking.
Now you get Jordan Lawler. Who's the Giants' shortstop of the future?
Well, Luciano, but he could be moved to right field.
I think I think Luciano might be more of a outfielder or third baseman. Yeah,
he looked good. He looks good out there right now. What we're seeing, but I love Luciano's game and attitude. Just the fact that that play second base tonight when he took off on that line drive that really just dropped right in front of the center fielder, and then him flying around third and headlong dive across the plate. It just shows an aggressiveness. It also showed me his back's fine. Anytime a guy goes diving head first, tells me his back is fine. So I think it would be the smartest thing the Giants can do. And I think the fans would get really behind it because we've already seen an influx of young guys coming up, and they've been the most exciting things to watch. Like tonight, for example,
young guys to take off.
Yeah. The only guy I was interested in seeing his at-bats tonight was Luciano. Matos I like, but what the thing, Matos doesn't give you that like, oh wow, like the jolt that Luciano can hit. If Luciano gets a hold of one, Los, were you on the other night when we showed the video of him possibly hitting it off the Coke bottle?
The Coke bottle, yeah.
I I missed most of the game tonight. What was the crowd reaction when he got his first hit? Was it a little
pretty
louder?
good.
Oh yeah, it was good.
His
It was
family
good.
was there.
He hit a 108 mile an hour, 107 mile an hour bullet that
The
went off
fans
the
want
glove
to
of
get
the third
behind their
baseman.
prospects. They love their homegrown talent. Most fan bases do. So,
Yeah.
but it's up to the front office to make it happen or not.
Yeah. Well, let's just go a few more minutes. I don't know how long you guys want to go. I'm getting tired, but
Yeah, I'm gonna cash in because I've gotten way too much sun this week.
yeah.
You were supposed to wear a hat day 2, weren't you?
I know. Well, I did wear a hat, but it's like, and then day 2 I wore a hat. I was fine, but then day 3 was today, and I had lotion on, but I should have put the hat on. And I'm just, I'm staring into this burning sun, and I'm just, I'm sitting there. I'm worn out, man.
What was it like 78, 80 degrees down, burning sun?
I know it was hot. It was mid 80s.
Oh, nice, beautiful.
Mid 80s, which probably, yeah, but California sun's pretty hot. Santa Clara is, I'll say that Santa Clara, you're standing there in the field. I should have just worn a hat. I got to go tomorrow. I may go get myself a sombrero.
Are they practicing tomorrow? I thought they were off tomorrow.
No, they're off tomorrow. That's why I'm saying I may, I may take tomorrow and go get
one
a
of those,
sombrero.
Larry. Let me know.
So Monday's the first day in pads, right?
Monday's the first day in pads. Today was a very bad day for Trey Lance. He just really struggled, and then his body language was really bad. And we talked to him after practice, and he's a great kid and he's got a great attitude, but I'm kind of starting to sense that he doesn't have a lot of belief in himself. And, there's a lot of adversity in the NFL. You got to have that belief.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Yeah.
So. Yeah, it'll be interesting. But, maybe Monday night you can join us after the Giants Arizona game. Maybe we'll have something to talk about further with trades. I think Ned comes back on the 31st. Yeah. 31st. So he probably won't be available, my guess, that first day. We'll definitely do stuff and talk a little bit about the trade deadline. I think Farhan's a wait to the last second guy, and then he's going to do something. Yeah. I think no doubt he'll do something. Yeah.
But guys, good seeing all you guys. Have a great night. We'll talk to you soon.
Have a good one, Larry.
Take care, guys.
All right, Larry Krueger, everybody, joining us.
So I'm going to check it out, Senior. I saw you talk about it earlier. I'll take.
Yeah, if you want to clear the chat, if you see anything in there, Chardal says, "Can I join the show?"
Not tonight, Chardal. Not tonight.
Chardal, we're getting ready to call it a night. During the trade deadline, Bora's asking, "Are we going to go live?"
We should.
We should. I think we'll do a show.
Maybe at 1:30 or 2. I don't know.
Well, the
or 1,
MLB Network is starting at 10:00 show, so that's going to be from 10. I imagine 10 to 3, a 5-hour show.
God, I do know that.
I'd have to be laying down for that one.
Lydia's back. Lydia's back in the show tonight. Nice.
Hey, Lydia. Yeah, you cannot wait till
because
the last minute.
Farhan, he waited. She's right. He literally waited to the last minute last year. So, or no, in 2021.
Yeah.
That's his MO. That's his MO.
I don't know. It's up to you. Maybe you want to do 2 hours before the deadline.
Yeah, maybe some things will happen. Maybe 12-ish or something. Just see.
Okay, maybe go 3 hours. We'll see if there's any movement, and if it looks slow or whatever, then
I can have the TV on in the background and just kind of see what's happening. But hey, it's been a great night tonight. We had at one point about 125 or so in the chat.
We got up into the 130s.
Did we get into the 130s?
Yeah.
Awesome. Everybody hit that like button. 92 still left. Hit the like. Subscribe if you haven't already subscribed. NorCal Sports Network. We will be back tomorrow night. We will probably do a show about between 7 and 7:30. Game time's at 4:15. Probably will end right around 7. We'll probably put the thumbnail out, schedule it for 7:30 because I would say 7:30. And
who's
my bet
pitching
with Los
tomorrow?
is not looking good. He's got the first game. I got to win the next 2. Darn.
Paxton's pitching tomorrow.
I know.
And who's pitching for the Giants?
TBA.
Oh, TBA.
He's really good. He's in fact.
Yeah, I've
we've
heard.
Cloned him. He's in. We've got 2 TBAs in the rotation.
That's how good he is.
That's how good he is. TBA. We throw him out there twice because he's so good.
Exactly.
TBA to be ass.
To be. Fair enough.
Good luck with that one, Danny.
That's going to be tough.
Yeah.
And then who goes on?
I'll tell you what, Los, if I see Disco Fani's the starting pitcher, I'll just Venmo you the money before the game starts.
No, I'd rather have the sit-down dinner and have a good time.
Sit down. You know what? If they announce that Disco Fani's pitching, the game's at 4:15, come on over. I'll have the steaks on the barbecue.
Deal.
Nice.
Hey, you never know. Remember game 1 against the Tigers? It was Verlander versus Zito, and I remember the betting line. The betting line for that game was like Verlander was like -225, and the Giants were home. Never know with baseball. But
I'm ticked because I forgot to take the under tonight. I didn't bet it. I got it. I'm just taking the under the rest of the year with the Giants. Take the under. They will not score.
Nope.
All right, everybody. Thanks for joining. We'll be back tomorrow night, NorCal Sports Network, for Larry Krueger joining us, for Los D, Eric, and Coach Julio. Thank you again. And arrivederci. Cacciare.
Woo!